Hello, everybody. Carlos Lopez here, candidate for State Senate, District number 35. I'm here with Mr. Juan de la Roca, who is an entrepreneur here. He has founded Backshop Bikes, and we're talking amongst the COVID-19 situation with our distance of a ski length in between us per the governor's request to make sure that we are safe. And thank you for taking the time to be with me. Hope you and all yours are well.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's certainly an unprecedented time right now. I mean, it's global, which is crazy to think about it. Like, the world is stopped, but we're pretty lucky to be in Trinidad, I feel like, at the same time, because kind of insulated a little bit from it all. So
That's true. That's true. It's a good time to be in a rural part of the state, which begs the need for reasoning that we have more attention at the state level for Southern Colorado. That being said, Mr. De La Roca, I would like to find out some information about you and how your industry is changing specifically in Southern Colorado. So if you would be so kind, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what brought you down to Trinidad.
Sure. So I grew up on the East Coast, but moved to Colorado in '94. I lived in Boulder, Nederland, outside of Boulder as well for a number of years. Ended up in Denver, and was in Denver until 2015, and sort of was in one of those neighborhoods that was changing very quickly, and thought to myself that there was an opportunity to perhaps check out something new, and I left Denver in the summer of 2015 and hit the road for about a year. I was in Central Texas, did a little travel in South America, Central America as well. And as a result of that, decided to start up Backshop Bikes. And the original genesis of it was that it would be a mountain bike tour operation in Guatemala. The connection there is that my parents are from there, so I grew up going there, and it's always been a special place. But in the midst of all that, I was also still looking for my U.S. home base. And I was coming through on a snowboard trip to Silverton in the winter of 2015 and 2016, and came through Trinidad and became intrigued, and really kind of thought to myself that there might be an opportunity, especially from a recreation, outdoor rec perspective, with a mountain bike tour operation. And so ended up moving here in the summer of 2016 and developing Backshop Bikes products here in the United States, and has been focused on what we call in the cycling world gravel cycling. It's a fast-growing trend in the cycling world, and it's essentially a drop bar bike that is designed to go anywhere, any dirt roads, and it's really about exploring and getting off the beaten path. And so, being in Trinidad, a place that's not as populated as other parts of the Front Range, with an extensive, cool history to it, and then also a fantastic road system that grew out of its mining and agricultural heritage, because a lot of these roads were originally roads to get you to mines and or farm to market. So in the 21st century, ironically, Trinidad finds itself in a very fortuitous position to kind of celebrate and promote the gravel cycling culture that's starting to emerge right now. I actually think this is probably one of the best places in the West, in the U.S. West, to ride a bike right now, because of the fact that, as we were just saying, we're a little insulated. We have a lot of open space here. We have a lot of fantastic scenery, and we have a wealth of roads here that are just fun to go down on their own. So,
Well, I think I agree with you there completely. I've driven them, especially hunting and such. But in other parts of the Southern Colorado, have you had a chance to explore San Luis Valley, Lower Arkansas Valley? And if so, could you tell me about your travels there?
Yeah, no, I have been to San Luis Valley. I'm a big fan of the San Luis Valley. I know this town of San Luis is the oldest town in the state of Colorado. I've been there a few times. And, also being a Spanish speaker, this is a part of the state where, being bilingual is part of just the culture, part of what it is. And so I've always been fond of exploring the San Luis Valley, towns like Hopper Center, Del Norte, Monte Vista, Alamosa even too. You have this Rio Grande going through there. Anytime you have a town like Trinidad as well, where you have a river flowing through it, that's a fantastic thing. It opens up a lot of opportunities, especially in outdoor recreation, whether it be through the fishing, boating, paddleboarding. So the San Luis Valley is going to be, I think, another area of the state's going to get a lot of attention because of the natural beauty of it. And let's face it, a lot of people move to Colorado, and one of the reasons why is because they want to be outdoors. They want to spend time outside when they're not working. So I think Southern Colorado is going to be definitely an area that's going to get some attention just because we have a larger population base, but it also has all the same ingredients that the rest of Colorado has, which is its natural beauty and unique culture. So.
And with that being said, have you had an opportunity to explore the lower Arkansas Valley for biking opportunities?
I have. I actually had spent some time in Salida in the late 90s. So I remember Salida when it was a town with boarded up windows on storefronts, no restaurants, everything closed early. And this was probably 96, 97. I had a friend from Boulder who had invested in Salida, and he kept telling everyone, yeah, this place is going to blow up. This place is going to be awesome. And sure enough, here it is in 2020, and Salida is a pretty happening place. And I think overall, within that valley, it's something like $350 million a year of spending that happens through the outdoor rec industry.
So along with the river, the money could flow all the way down towards Lamar with potential. One of my other concerns is 2-year higher education programs, junior colleges, community colleges. Do you find that there's an economic potential for new innovative programs that get towards outdoor recreation for these types of entities?
Oh, absolutely. Because I think what's happening right now is that outdoor rec, obviously we live in Colorado. It's a big part of our lifestyle here in the state, but it's exploding everywhere. So there's a need for talent to fill a lot of job positions, whether that be with the Parks and Rec department, maybe a trail building company, maybe it's a climbing company, and they make wedding straps or whatever it might be. There's definitely a growth out there that's happening where talent needs to fill some of these industry jobs. And I think what's going to be interesting as well, especially now that we know the economy is going to be challenging for a period of time, people tend to go back to school at those times, but the idea of education has changed as well. The 4-year degree, the advanced degree, the high loans, that sort of approach to education is on its way out. And I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people that are looking for practical applications to education / workforce opportunities. And I think the outdoor rec world has a lot of potential there because it's just pretty exciting to most people. And I think Trinidad State Junior College in particular is going to be on that path with the new trail building program that's going to be starting up in the fall of 2020. It was a partnership between the college here, the Professional Trail Builders Association, which is headquartered out of Boulder, and they were looking for an official place to start up a program that would be, the gold standard, right? The top of, the rung of programs that are focused on trail building, the trail building industry particularly. So the cool thing about that program is that, Trinidad has a lot of work to do in terms of developing trails around its perimeter, but it also has a lot of natural beauty to it that, if you came here to look at campus to see if this was a place you wanted to go to school, and you took a tour on a bicycle around town, and you went and looked at all the things you could potentially be working on as a student in this program, you'd walk away pretty excited. Especially if you're, really somebody who's wanting to get into the trail building industry, which is exploding, by the way, right now. That is one of the fastest growing segments of the outdoor rec industry, simply because, going back to it, recreation's everywhere. Every state's looking at it as a revenue stream that needs to be properly identified and tracked because it already exists in a lot of ways. But because it exists, it can enhance a lot of other aspects. Bicycles in particular play a pretty big role in developing an entrepreneurial ecosystem in a small rural town. You look at places like Fruta, for example, all the businesses that have sprung up because of the mountain bike scene there and catering to those tourists. But, you also start to see people moving to some of these mountain rural towns because, the gig economy has made it a lot easier for them to be, working remotely. And that's another aspect of COVID that's going to be very interesting is that, for the longest time, I think a lot of companies fought this idea of remote working for their workforce. But now they're forced to do it. So they're either already well set up to do it, or now they're struggling to figure out how to set themselves up. And as a result of that, I think because we know that this is going to be something that's going to be rolling out for a little while, so longer, they're going to have to figure that stuff out. So as things settle, a lot of companies that weren't set up to be remote will suddenly be set up to be remote. And so that starts to change, the idea of, where you live, and, outdoor recreation plays a pretty big role in, somebody's choice as far as where they want to live. I mean, it played a role in my life. I mean, for you.
Clearly, here you are.
So here I am, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be really cool to see some of the colleges be able to develop some programs that, especially like a place like Trinidad, can attract a younger crowd, people who could potentially end up staying here in the long run, maybe starting up a business, or companies moving here because of it. Like, let's say this program, this trail building program, becomes so attractive that a company or two that's in that industry decides that they want to be here because they want to tap into the talent that's coming out of this program. They want to tap into all the projects that are happening around this. So it's a pretty exciting time, I think, for Southern Colorado.
Well, hopefully that can be spread out amongst other parts of the district, and
right.
We can all share in the wealth.
Right.
So,
in the San Luis Valley, there's actually a great organization called San Luis Valley Greater Outdoors, and they've been doing some really great stuff over there too. And I think the idea of what if one day we could connect Las Animas County and Costilla County via trail. I know that along the Culebra Range, it's a lot of private land, but there is National Forest Service for a good portion of that. And there's some really cool, interesting things happening over in Costilla County in terms of open space over in that Rito Seco portion of outside Fort Garland. So, it'll be cool to see what happens down here over the years. But it's going to require some thoughtful thinking and some innovative risk taking.
And definitely some resources.
Right, resources too. But I think those are there. I mean, the reality is those are there because outdoor rec, as far as an industry for the state of Colorado, I think it's $6 billion. I mean,
it'd be nice if we could tap into that.
Right.
In Southern Colorado.
And it's interesting, right? Because I think there's actually some data as well on regions that contribute to the overall $6 billion for the state of Colorado. And our region here in Southern Colorado, southeastern Colorado, is second to last. And it's, I think, something like 340 million a year that it contributes, which is not a small number, right? No. But then the next one from us up is a huge difference.
Wow.
And then, so then you get up to your $6 billion at that point. But it shows how much of a bandwidth that we sort of have here to kind of better serve the industry that we have now as well as grow off.
Well, I think this has been a tremendous, quick discussion. I'm sure there's more we can learn about it, and I'm all ears. Again, we have Mr. Juan de la Roca, entrepreneur and founder of Backshop Bikes. We're here having a beer instead of a coffee right now because it's a nice afternoon amongst our social distancing experience. But if you want to give yourself a plug to let people know about yourself. Sure.
If anybody's interested, they can check out a couple websites. There's one, which is backshopbikes.com, BACKSHOPBIKES.com. And then there's also explorelosanimas.com, which was a cycling tourism dedicated website that was developed last year, that it's still super relevant moving forward, but it's got bike routes on it. If you're looking to come to southeastern Colorado to ride a bike, there's some fantastic routes that are already established. There are a total of 31, varying in distance from 25 miles or less or 100 miles or more. So be sure to check that out. And everything is also super easy to access as far as GPS data off of that site. So I encourage people to share that as well, because if you got friends coming to town or family and they want to go ride a bike, it's just a really great resource to utilize in order to know where to go. So, but yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And thank you folks for watching Beer with Carlos segment. And don't forget to check out all of our other videos at Carlos Lopez for Colorado.com under the sidebar Coffee with Carlos. Thanks and be safe, everybody.
Take care.